Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Yesterday I recorded a full process of from sketch to watercolor. So I started off in Photoshop in this case, sketching out the first idea and the second one. This picture will be a present for a baby shower. So I started off with my friend carrying the mum, his girlfriend, and then her carrying the baby. And the second idea was her carrying the baby and him, because I think she's and I sort of took the second idea because I liked the composition better. I liked the idea a bit better because it makes her so capable, I think, and that's what actually my picture of her is. So, and not that he isn't capable, it's just that her being so very capable is this picture I have in mind. So I started off very roughly just to get the composition right, and they're very happy to get their kid. She doesn't know whether it's a boy or a girl yet, so I have to keep that neutral. She told me about how she already got a little gray hoodie which she adores for the kids, so I drew that. And and she's getting as a present today a baby sling, so I also drew that, and I, as you see, I got some references from them. I like doing that sort of to get, it's a cartoon depiction of them, but it helps for details like the shoes or other stuff from the general mood of the characters and the shapes of the faces. It always helps me to have references. Like the sunglasses, I got those then also in the picture. I played around quite a lot with the faces because I wanted to get some similarity in it from the proportions, and I had some difficulties there. Sometimes it happens it works out from the beginning. Sometimes it just needs a bit more work. I love the warp tool in Photoshop. You can just sort of push a part which you select to the side. That's very helpful. Here again, putting in the references. How is this baby sling wrapped around the body? I had to check that because I didn't really get it. Later I sort of noticed that the baby sling we're buying her has actually stars, and that was cool for the coloring. So I got a reference for that later too. So when I finished the sketch, I printed it out and put it on my light table and traced it with a red pencil. It's not very visible here, so I speeded it up pretty much, but it's just tracing. But you see how the light sketch comes through. And I like to have the sketch light and clean, so it doesn't interfere with the watercolors, because I put some line art on top, and this is how I like to have watercolor prepared. So starting off with the skin tones, as usual, I should have probably worked them a bit sooner, because when I was later in the end painting the details, I was like, oh god, I should have done this at the beginning, sort of, because I had done so much, and it's a common mistake. I always do that. I always want basically to have the skin ready, but I just forgot it while layering all the colors on top. So here you see there's this baby sling with the beige stars, and it's sort of this taupe color. I carried on with the hair, laying down all the colors. She's pretty dark haired, so I chose sepia. I really like sepia. Sepia is one of my favorite all-arounder colors. You can mix it with all the tones and get a warm, darker color, but a bit. You can also you always can desaturate it with it, and but I prefer it to black, so it's my color for toning and darkening colors. Yeah, but I try to keep the colors fairly what's the word? Not too colorful. I think they like a bit more what's the word? A toned down thing. So I sort of checked also on the pictures, and they were sort of wearing some gray and blue, and so yeah, I had a sketch. I did a quick sketch of how I wanted to have the colors on a just really rough sheet, sort of seeing how the colors work together. So yeah. Now when the layer dried of the first color, I took a purple, which I mixed from sepia and a red tone, sort of so reddish purple, because I really like that as a shadow color. I actually mix those two most of the time for my shadow colors. Yeah, and laid the shadows on top of the bit drier drawing, and I think that pulls it nicely together. Not on top of all of it, because I don't like to have the purple in the skin. It works nicely as well, but it's a different effect. I think the skin looks more vibrant when you sort of pick a darker shade of the same skin tone. I don't know. It's just my way of painting watercolors. I like it that way. So yeah, you can see here. Laying down the shadows and detailing a bit. God's here I've started on the eyes, and I'm always so afraid of painting the eyes, because with a brush it's just not as controlled as on the PC or with a pencil, and you don't have you can't go back. So when it's I mean you have possibilities to erase stuff, but it's not as safe as on the computer. Yeah, so I started off now I'm now already working on the outlines, coming into the detailed phase, which I always enjoy. I mean, laying down the colors is fun too, but I hate all the waiting for everything to dry, and I'm a bit impatient at some levels with watercolors, but it's important. You really need patience for watercolors. Just for you to know how long everything of this took. The sketch in Photoshop took me about 1.5 hours, but I was really just sort of watching a show while painting, and not really. So those was like 1.5 hours, which I was sort of fairly distracted while doing it. So it wasn't. It's Saturday, so I don't have to be that tight with my schedule. Yeah, the tracing took about 15 minutes, and the watercolor about 2.5 to 3 hours. I didn't get the last details I did on this because my camera died. Well, the battery died, and so the gold, which I put on top, I had to do that afterwards. So yeah, I hope you liked the video, and bye bye.